Binance sees a 30% surge in trading activity on the FTX implosion. Fascinating. Credit Suisse. Business is stable. Stable. Fire the laser. Chairman tells broadcaster SRF. Okay, all right, well, that's great. That's when Ghana set to swap domestic debt and fight to regain economic stability. Well, look at there. We are making moves, guys. CZ, brilliant move. I wish I would have thought of that. I'm not nearly as smart as you are, though, running these crazy schemes to leverage, trading, ARBs, all this stuff. It's amazing. Just arbitrage plays, collapsing competitors it truly is amazing. And what do you know? 30% increase in business. That'd be nice. I bet there are a lot of companies out there who love a 30% increase in business right away. But hey, when your competitors are swimming naked, what do you expect? Fascinating though. What will happen with Coinbase, Kraken? We just did a video on Nexo. CZ, and Binance, what's going on? Will we've already got the Fed saying they might slow rates, but they're continue raising rates. The dollar, the DXY, relative strength of the dollar, and 10-year, those things have seemed to come down a little bit. I mean, are they not going to jump again at some point? Do we think they're not going to jump again? What happens? What happens in another 3 months, 6 months, another couple quarters of this, another 12 months of this? We got a lot of people projecting big recessions or small recessions, just nothing good for 2023. So what happens as this prolongs, right? There's a lot of people that can stay liquid for a while, but as the old trader adage saying in the markets is that the markets can stay a lot more irrational for a lot longer than you can stay liquid, right? So who is swimming naked when that liquidity tide is finally all the way out? When you're like, oh my gosh, it's like a mile out there. I can't go any farther than this. Oh, it goes 5 more miles out. You can't even see the edge of the water. That's how far it's gone out. And then you can see all the naked swimmers. So again, not going to speculate here on what happened and what CZ's motives were, if they were good or bad or what was happening here. All I'm saying is I'm just reporting that hey, this incredible business surge of 30%. That's incredible. Truly, truly remarkable. Coinbase and Kraken obviously got to pick up some of that slack as well, as there was a liquidity crunch. Yeah, I think there was more than that going on with FTX. We've done a bunch of videos on that, obviously explaining what was going on there with their FTT token, which I think that stands for fake token, tokenomics, all these BS terms they use. And boy, oh boy, take your keys, hold them in cold storage. Take your Bitcoin, the hardest asset we've ever had. Why leave that in someone else's hands? Why leave that in someone else's hands? Please take it, put it in your own custody. We're going to say that to blue in the face until the half of the country, or the entire country is doing that. Until we have 10 million Bitcoiners. That's what Bitcoin says. Credit Suisse, because that is the peaceful revolution. The peaceful revolution is people taking the custody of their Bitcoin into their own sovereignty, into their own hands, into cold storage. You want to run a node even more? Great. That's wonderful. That's more advanced. Wonderful. But just take it in cold storage. It literally takes a couple minutes. We've got videos on here of how to do that as well. It takes a couple minutes, copying and pasting and scanning a QR code. That's it. I mean, or you can do one or the other. You can either scan a QR code quick with your camera or copy and paste things, basically. Again, this is not financial advice. This is freedom advice. Go learn for a couple minutes. Go look at our videos of BTC sessions. Ben, he does unbelievable videos on how to do these within minutes. Taking your assets, putting them into your own custody. It's so simple, and you will thank yourself. Your family will thank you. Credit Suisse. Business is stable. Greg Foss has been talking about this a lot, and really doing some great reporting on this. You can go on his Twitter and check this out. But you know that when someone comes out and says that they're definitely stable, they're apt, nothing to see here. Just like an AP fact check, like we talked about the other day. When you have an AP fact check, you know, man, it's as good as gold. It's as good as Bitcoin, solid as steel. You can just feel it. You can just feel the stableness of Credit Suisse. And, you know, I think it's fascinating. Again, we just ask questions here. We're trying to ask a lot of questions. What's going on? You know, how is it that you are having to come out and say that you're definitely stable because you've had a ton of outflows recently? Because you've had a lot of scandals, number one. Interesting. Very interesting in itself. We're not going to comment on that, though. Just going to say one thing, and that's it, one comment. We're not going to go further in detail there. But outflows have stabilized, meaning, you know, why would it matter? And again, I'm just a stupid pleb at the end of the day. So why would it matter if you had all the people's deposits in there and they're all coming back to get them? Why would you be under duress? Like, why would you? Interesting. I wonder, do you have the answer? Please, in the comments below, please let me know why a crypto exchange or why a bank might be in trouble and being questioned and their stocks plummeting because people are coming to get their own cash out of the exchange or their own cash out of the bank. Just let me know. Let me know in the comments why that might be. But they're definitely stable now, so now we're good. People have said, you know what, they've drank the Kool-Aid. They're good to go. They believe in the legacy system again. They believe in the exchange, the bank, Credit Suisse. We're going to pile our money back into someone else's hands and let them deal with it. Good to go. Good for you guys. Way to stem the tide. And but the tide's going to go out though at some point, right? Like we just said, it's going to go out, whether it's next year, maybe next 5, whatever, 10 years, who knows? But it's going to go out. So another good article, very fascinating. And then lastly, we have Ghana, which I believe Jack Dorsey just talked about this, actually just tweeted about it. But Ghana to swap domestic debt in fight to regain economic stability. So again, we've got exchanges, we've got banks, we've got countries all at risk, all on tilt, just doing this. And as we said many times before, again, when the DXY, the dollar, relative strength of the dollar goes up compared to all the other currencies, and you get the yields going up, so bonds are selling off and yields are going up, that just crushes all the markets of the world. Because remember, all these debts, all these entities, companies, countries, they are all using debts denominated in dollars, or vast majority of them, right? So most people have debts denominated in dollars, meaning there's a liquidity crunch of dollars. They need more dollars. So when rates are going up, they need to scrap and find dollars. And that's where you see Sri Lanka collapse. The UK pound was having massive issues, and they basically defaulted and had to turn around and pivot. That's why these countries are having problems. America, in essence, will be the last to have the problems because they're the one with the currency printer and the reserve dollar, the reserve currency at the moment, the world reserve. Again, all these developing countries are going to have problems, and then it just kind of flows up to the United States eventually. So my question to Ghana is, why not do what El Salvador is doing? So they're in here, just happen to be perusing this article, and I noticed IMF in here, and it just kind of piqued my interest a little bit. So IMF, and then I saw International Monetary Fund again. The government is in talks with the International Monetary Fund for support program to relieve its debt distress. Well, again, I'm just spitballing here. This is another question I have. It seems that there's so many countries. Again, we have so much data, so much experience now seeing how well that works for people going to the International Monetary Fund. And sorry, not people, I should say necessarily. Countries, which are made of people, going to the International Monetary Fund for support. Say, hey, can you give me some cash? And the International Monetary Fund, well, they're one of the closest people to the spigots, the currency spigots as possible. And they say, of course you can. It's no skin off my back. Literally, I just type digits in the computer. We steal the wealth from all the citizens in the United States or around the world through inflation. We steal a fraction of every piece of dollar or currency, fiat currency they own, and we'll send a new batch of 100 billion, a new batch of a trillion or whatever to this country, 500 billion. We'll send it to that country. And then guess what? Now the borrower is indebted to the slave. What does the Bible teach us? So now you're under our watch. El Salvador used to be the country, right? Ghana, you name it. So now the International Monetary Fund has you. They've got you. There's a great book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. Just go check that out. Just go take a little read. It's not a huge book. It talks all about this whole entire process, and it's a very interesting read. An action drama, if you will, a thriller, and it outlines exactly what's going on here. We're not going to talk about it here, but this is what's going on. Why not use Bitcoin? That's my question. Again, why not use Bitcoin? Why not do what El Salvador is doing? Become sovereign, not have to worry. Get the hardest asset we've ever known in existence to man. Put that on your balance sheet and become sovereign instead of being dependent on other entities who now control you. It's just a simple question. There's more into that. You can get more advanced with that questioning, but I just want to leave it very simple, right? I tried to keep it at a 3rd grade level for the most part. I don't always do a great job of that, but how can we keep this at a very simple level so that way even I, a former hockey player, can understand it? How can we do that in a way that speaks to the most amount of people? And how can we ask questions that are going to wake the most amount of people up? Why are we continuing to do the same thing over again? Why are we continuing to do this over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result? Isn't that the definition of insanity? Again, and it goes into here about the currency falling and falling and falling in value, which many countries around the world this is happening. Argentina defaulted, 5 times or something in the last 30 years? Got to do something different. Bitcoin is a parallel system being built alongside of the legacy economy. Legacy economy is the Titanic sinking. And, it took 3-4 hours, right, to sink. It sinks very slowly after years, decades. And then this system is being built to the life raft over here. The Bitcoin economy in the network is a life raft. Literally sitting there waiting for anyone who wants to get in, learn about it, use it. It's very simple. And it takes 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to use it. Be in your cold storage, be totally sovereign, transacting back and forth. Very easy. So those are the questions I have. What say you? Again, give me the answer, what you think below as to what's going on with the International Monetary Fund, why we keep doing the same things over and over again. Why do we keep doing the same things, expecting a different result? There's a new system already available. It's not like we even have to create a lot of it. A lot of it's already done. Now people are building layer 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of the Bitcoin network, the layer 1 protocol. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful. It's already there. All we have to do is choose to pick up our chips from that table, move them over to a different table. It's as simple as that. Thank you guys for your time, your attention, your energy. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.